In Mark 10:38-39, Jesus refers to this crucifixion and calls it his baptism and says that the disciples will be baptized with the same baptism. Listen to this. This is important. Mark 10:38. But Jesus said unto them, Ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they said unto him, We can. And Jesus said unto them, Ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the baptism that I am to be baptized with, all shall ye be baptized. The baptism that he was talking was dying. And he looked at him and he said, Are you really going to be able to die for what you believe and who you honor? And is your will really going to be, are you going to be able to face this baptism in the Garden of your Gethsemane and say, if there was another way, maybe an ordinary way, and we just do it, and we don't have to do it my Father's way? Because the majority don't do it Father's way. He says, are you willing to take this baptism on you? And his baptism, he was referring to, because, you know, Jesus was about to die. He wasn't talking about going out in the wilderness now. He's talking about dying. In order for anyone to be saved, Jesus had to suffer and die. In John 12:24, Jesus said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. In verse 25, he says, He that loveth his own life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto eternal life. Verse 26 says, If any man serve me, let him follow me. Clearly, Jesus is speaking about his own life, the corn of wheat, about dying. This is the baptism of fire, and he's asking, are you willing to drink this cup of suffering? Now, I want to say this. This is not suffering at the hands of the devil, not suffering at the hands or the consequences of sin, but suffering in the way that Jesus suffered. Jesus could have called down 10 or 12 legions of angels, and the Father, he says, would have immediately dispatched them. So he didn't have to suffer on that cross. He didn't. The suffering was really doing the will of his Father. By really knowing obedience, he was perfected by obedience to even death on the cross. So it is with you. And so you're not going to die the death of Christ because he died for the world. You have to die for the body. He said, I died for the whole world. You don't have to do that. He said, but that empowers you to die and lay down your life for the body, for the church. That means the whole church. That doesn't just mean the Catholics or the Protestants or the Pentecostals or the Charismatics or the ones that think doctrinally like you. It means everybody. The world hasn't seen that yet. And when the world sees that, they'll know that God has sent his Son. Now, we will never reconcile our doctrine. We will never reconcile all our faiths in our doctrines and our beliefs and our styles. We won't. We haven't got time. But we can be reconciled to God through Jesus Christ. We can be. It is absolutely possible. I've seen it. I've seen enough. If I was a scientist and I was doing experiments in a laboratory, I've done them. It can happen. I've seen it. I know it's the truth. So we just have to now say, God, with this little experiment that we've started to learn and understand, could we infect a whole city? A little leaven leavens the whole lump. A little leaven of unrighteousness can leaven the whole lump. A little leaven of righteousness can leaven the whole lump. How many would like to see something happen in our lives and in our time and in our, like you might think you're nobody, but I think you're somebody. God thinks you're somebody. You might think that I'm talking to somebody, this is a big job for somebody that's gifted and called and important. No, it's your job. You are that person. If you will see it, if you see it, then you can become it. What you hear is what you see, and what you'll see is what you'll put into practice. Paul said that. It's a principle of heaven. If you can't hear it, you won't see it. And if you can't see it, you won't do it. But if you can begin to hear it, If you can begin to hear it, you'll begin to see it. And if you begin to see it, you'll begin to do it. It'll just become you. It'll just be who you are. That's why we demonstrate every night. Sometimes I'm so tired and I just don't want to do an altar, but I still end up doing it because I think there could be someone that's never seen God move on someone, never seen someone be healed, never seen someone be touched. I have testimonies all the time. People say, oh, it wasn't until this happened or that happened, or I was just skeptical. I thought you were just another one just sprouting off. Then all of a sudden, miracles and things started happening, and it scared me and it shocked me. But today I serve God with all my heart. Be one of those people. Be like Jesus.